Well, as of tomorrow, beer, wine, and ready-to-drink beverages will be available on shelves at over 4,100 licensed big box, corner, and grocery stores.
And this morning, Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy joins us now to talk more about this, a huge expansion of alcohol sales across the province. Minister, I'm curious because part of this expansion was also kind of part of what happened during the LCBO strike. That was part of what was at issue here. Is the province losing out on any potential revenue by selling at more sites? I assume you're still getting the tax revenue, or could you see an expanded amount of revenue coming in from this expansion of sales?
I think we're going to see expanded revenue, whether it's through the LCBO, more small businesses. Small businesses are hiring to accommodate, you mentioned the 4,100 convenience stores. I think some 2,800 have put in orders that will show up tomorrow on shelves. They've told us they're going to hire more people to do that. So it's good for local jobs. I love job growth, 160,000 new jobs in the last 12 months. I look at it and say there's 160,000 new taxpayers that weren't on the roll. So I think this is a win-win. And for consumers, this is also great. I grew up in Quebec where you have convenience and choice, and many parts of Canada and elsewhere have the same thing. So we said we would do this. We campaigned on it, and we're getting something done that we said we would do.
So you're paying the beer store some money to get this done. In terms of the revenue that the government is making, what does it plan to do with that money?
Well, first of all, I'm looking to balance the books. I have a plan to balance, and in about 2 years, we've got a credit rating upgrade. Two others, Moody's and S&P have us on positive. We have the lowest interest expense to revenue since the 1980s. You know what that means? My budget last year said our interest costs would be X. We're $1.8 billion lower in interest costs. So that's real money that we can use to invest in health care and creating good jobs, retraining and reskilling people. So I think this is a real win-win all around.
Was there an expectation that this many stores would jump in so soon to get that opportunity to sell, or were you surprised by the response?
I don't think I was surprised because I think they indicate the convenience stores have been lobbying for this for over 2 decades. And, they look, like I said, in Quebec, and they're able to do that in Quebec and other parts of Canada. Why not here? So I'm not surprised. I'm very encouraged and happy that I think it's up to 4,200. We've got a couple of hundred grocery stores on top of the 450. We're going to put them in all grocery stores on October 31st. So I'm very encouraged at this point.
Yeah, as you say, it's a win-win, and I can see a lot of people who want the convenience of getting a drink that will agree with you. However, Karen Littlewood, the president of the OSSTF, has expressed her concern that, convenience stores are located really close to some schools, and it's just going to make access to alcoholic beverages easier for underage kids. Is the government planning any kind of enforcement like they did with that store that was selling ahead of time alcoholic beverages? Is there an enforcement plan in place to make sure that people won't sell to underage children and that they're abiding by the rules?
Well, first off, compliance is a legal obligation. So if you're a small business owner and you're getting your license suspended and ultimately revoked if you don't follow the rules. But I have a lot of confidence in small businesses, and they are already the convenience store selling tobacco legally, lottery tickets. So this adds, and they're out of business if they break the law. We've beefed up the number of inspectors quite dramatically, and they're going to be checking all the convenience stores, the grocers and others. And think of it from a business point of view. They're out of business if they get that license revoked. So we're taking it very seriously.
Yeah, not just their beers, but their entire stores.
Their entire store is gone.
Yeah. Let's talk about where the province plans to expand next or do more, because, Premier Ford campaigned on Buck a Beer about 6 or 7 years ago. You've expanded widely now the sales. What is next in the target in terms of alcohol sales or consumption across Ontario?
Well, I think the grocery stores are next on our list. So far we have about 650 grocery stores, 200 more that have applied for a new license, 450 from before. So there's a potential for a real expansion. And I think about all the people like probably you when you're going and buying groceries wherever you buy them, and you can buy some wine and beer at the same time. You don't have to do a separate trip. Costs are high right now. I've cut the gas tax, so I'm helping people put a little bit more money in their pockets. But if you want to make that extra trip, where you can, in many jurisdictions, you can just buy your bread and your beer at the same time. Convenience, I think, is going to be our next move in grocery stores.
Yeah, and very quickly, we got to wrap it up, but will this be a stepping stone toward further deregulation in the future with other controlled substances, like marijuana, for example?
Oh, wow. We're to take as seriously the sale and consumption of cannabis as we do alcohol or any other forms. We're just going to continue to stick to our plan of building the economy and building the infrastructure, because we have a growing population And we want to have, we're an economic powerhouse in Ontario. We launched the largest ever energy procurement last week in the history of Canada. We've got a great talent education system. We're next door to the largest trading partner in the economy in the world, 500 billion two-way trade. We're the number 1 or 2 trading partner to 30 states. So we've got it all, energy, the people, the resources, education system, to grow bigger paychecks and jobs for people.
Okay, appreciate your time this morning, Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy, Ontario's Finance Minister. Thanks for joining us here on Breakfast.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
my
your
pleasure.
time.
Always
Have a
good to
great
see
day.
you.
Very much, yeah.
Thank